Well, it was something that the mayors within the district of South Canterbury and Mid Canterbury had some discussions around, because it was one of our biggest costs. Issues facing us were the reduction in the FAR and meeting the right level of service for our communities. So sometimes you've got to think outside the square, and sometimes joining forces, working together, standardising contracts, getting better procurement power is the way to do that. There's massive costs and resources from the back office through to managing contracts, and if we can standardise the contracts and get the same level of service, then it makes it more efficient across the district.
There's a number of benefits for us. First of all, we probably got a better service, certainly through the resealing program. It's been a heap more efficient. Being able to tap into a much wider network of expertise has been also beneficial to us. And we've also been able to have more work done on time with bigger contractors in the area at the time. So all in all, it's been a very efficient process. I definitely think there's savings by working together, but I do think that the tap into more expertise has been quite a significant part in this. It relies on a lot of trust, and we've been able to, through the collaborated and shared services way of doing things between our councils and with Ashburton coming on board too, really strengthened the roading collaboration agreement.
I think the main benefits for council are around three things, and I'd call them cooperation, scale and efficiency, particularly around the tendering process. And what we saw when we were bidding, and we have been bidding these things, is around the consistency of the tender documents across the 4 territorial authorities. It's been refreshing knowing that when you're going to tender, you're not having, while you're putting in 4 separate bids, there is commonality with the documentation, commonality with the language, the specification. So the effort that goes into it is none less, but the reward at the end because of the scale is greater.
I believe we've got a much better level of service than what we had before. I know there was some quite considerable savings funding wise for the likes of Timaru and Mackenzie, and I believe Ashburton. It wasn't so much about the funding at this stage for us, it was more about having an increased level of service, having a better service for our ratepayers. And I'm hearing that back from a lot of the rural, particularly the rural ratepayers, that we are getting what they believe is a better level of service out of it. It's all a matter of making the dollar go the furthest you can, and it's a push that's coming obviously through NZTA and through central government about making sure that we're spending it wisely and getting the biggest bang for our buck. So that's really important to us, is that we are making sure that we're getting maximum value out of every dollar we put into roading. And not only that, we've got a really good pool of expertise now, because as you said, being a smaller council, quite often we don't have that critical mass to have those engineers and things like that.
The benefits, as far as I can see, are the resource pool of staff that are available. In the past, we've had difficulty employing people for technical roles. By having a bigger pool with 4 districts involved means that some of the skill sets that we're looking for are available locally, and that's good.
You can look as though you're working as a group, but unless you have the same goals and the same willingness to achieve those goals, and maybe bend a little, agree to disagree, acknowledge that there are different viewpoints out there and they might actually work better for you as a whole, then that's real collaboration, and that's what we've actually achieved.
Well, from our point of view, I think it's consistency of delivery. You're getting a contract standard applied over more than one council. In our case, it's obviously Mackenzie and Waimate, and from their point of view, are seeing the same contract standard applied across both their networks. Staff don't have to be conversant with 2 different contract standards, and they have one consistent standard across both networks.